Good afternoon, Mr. Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate today is: should animals be used for experimentation? Now, I, as today's proposition, strongly believes that this is true. But before we come to our actual argument, let us first define some important terms in this debate. Animal experimentation is a procedure performed on living animals with the purpose of researching basic biology and diseases, find out the effectiveness of new medical products, and testing the human health and or environmental safety of consumers and industry products such as cosmetics, household cleaners, food additives, farm and industrial chemicals. The types of animals used are mice, fish, rats, rabbits, guinea pigs, hamster, farm animals such as cows or sheep, birds, cats, dogs, mini pigs, and non human primates such as monkeys, and in some countries, chimpanzees. So, we define the topic as the reason as to why animals should be used for experimentation, the long-term effects, and the advancement that we would make through these experiments. Um, I, the affirmative or proposition team, believe that this statement is true, supported by my 2 points of arguments, which are the reason as to why experiment on animals and the benefits from such experiments. My first point is the reason as to why we experiment on animals. We can improve our understanding of basic biology, a way to understand how diseases work, and to create a potential cure for diseases. And finally, a better protect the environment, humans, and animals alike. The numbers of cases, the evidence are, for example, a vaccine of the polio virus. The number of cases of paralytics, polio in the United States has declined as a result of vaccination from 558,000 in 1952 to only 4 in 1984. This was stated by the Office of Technology Assessment in 1986. Transplantation through a systematic study of surface immune markers of specially bred strain of mice, Snell and Banach-Seraph provide the basis for much of the understanding that has led to the success of organ transplantation. Continuing my statements, animals are appropriate research subjects because they are similar to human beings in many ways. For example, chimpanzees share 99% of our DNAs. Mice are 98% genetically similar to humans. All mammals, including humans, are descended from common ancestors and all the same set of organs heart, kidneys, lungs, etc. That functions in essentially the same way with the help of bloodstreams, the central nervous system, because the animals and humans are so biologically similar, they are used, uh, they can be used for these experiments because they can have the same conditions and illnesses such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. By studying animals, it is possible to obtain information that cannot be learned in any other way. When a new drug or surgical techniques is developed, society deems it unethical to use the drugs and techniques firstly on humans. So it is better to use it on animals. Animals also offer experimental models that would be impossible to replicate using human subjects. Animals can be fed identically and closely monitored diets, as with inbred mice. Members of some animal species are genetically identical, enabling researchers to compare different procedures on identical animals. Some animals have biologically similar to humans and particularly good models for specified diseases such as rabbits or monkeys for polio. And now, my second point, the benefit of these experiments. You might have a lot of questions, such as if it's only us that benefits from these, why not use humans instead of animals? Well, the answer is simple, like I've said before. It doesn't only benefit us, but also benefit animals. But even if we use humans, society is gonna say that this is unethical. Vaccine tested on animals have saved millions of animals that would otherwise have died from rabies, distemper, feline leukemia, infectious hepatitis, virus, tetanus, anthrax, and many more viruses. And animal testing has also been an instrument in saving endangered species from extinction, including the black-footed ferret, the Californian condor, and the tamaris of Brazil. The American Veterinary Medical Association, or the AVMA, endorses animal testing to develop safe drugs, vaccine, and medical devices. So, with that, in my opinion, the the fundamental of animal testing is very useful for us humans and animals because not only will it benefit us in the long term, such as making new vaccines, new drugs, or testing new drugs and testing new ways of medical surgeries, but it also helps the animals from extinction, from their own diseases, and it could even save us from those diseases, from the animals transferring the diseases to us. So, Mr. or Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, what have I told you today? Firstly, the reason as to why the experimentation on animal, and secondly, the benefit of the experiment. In conclusion, the animal experiment gives us more information as to how living things work. They have basic biology and what types of diseases or viruses we have to manage to go and pass through the experiments of animals. And lastly, the benefits, which are knowing the effectiveness of vaccines, developing safer drugs, and saving endangered species from extinction. Other than that, it's also great. It's also for the greater good of this world. These animals contributions to help us will one day make this world a place where we don't have to worry about being sick, suffering, or even dying from such a diseases. This concludes my arguments as the proposition team. Thank you so much for listening, and good afternoon.